What it do, family? It's your favorite host, Mike on the mic from the Vibe Perspective Podcast, keeping the vibe alive till the wheels fall off. And I'm joined by...
You already know your favorite girl, Sacoya.
I got Monte.
And this is Season 3, Episode 1 of the Vibe Perspective Podcast. Welcome back. We back.
Yeah, I'm glad y'all getting it right.
Man, Season 3, Episode 1. Or I don't even know the...
Ain't no getting it wrong now. We not starting with them extra numbers no more this season.
Hey, yeah. Look, but for the lore, for the supporters.
The supporters know.
You know what I'm saying? All right. If you know, you know. Yeah. If you know, you know. We're just going to leave it at that. But we're finally back. You know what I'm saying? We had our little sabbatical. We had our little vacation time. We took some trips, spent time with family, did some background things that we needed to do. And now we back. We talking about all that good hip-hop and politics, all everything. Man. Yeah, we missed y'all. We missed y'all, man. Man, for real. You know what I'm saying? How is everybody doing? How is, your breaks been? Update everybody on what's going on.
You want to start?
Sure.
Go ahead.
I've been good, man. Usually, I've been really good, man. I actually have. I've been working a lot. Just got the new crib. So trying to get that ready and everything like that. But yeah, man, big moves.
New
for me
crib.
After the little break, the little sabbatical's been nice. We'll say that.
For sure.
How y'all been?
For sure.
I've been good. I've been finishing some little projects here and there, making some stripes, bad girl stuff. No, I'm just playing.
Man.
But yeah, we good.
Yeah, definitely doing good. I'm doing radio now. Like the Vibe Studios has went into the radio realm now, so I'm doing some things at Ground 3 Media, Ground 3 Radio. Make sure you tap in on Tuesdays. I'm interviewing a lot of, popular names in Baltimore City and, the surrounding area in Maryland. And, it's a great opportunity. And the Vibe Perspective Podcast family definitely should go over and, check it out, see what's going on. Because you already know how I get, when I'm on the microphone. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just
definitely
saying.
Tap in.
I'm just saying.
Tap in. What days you on there?
On Tuesdays. Every Tuesday from 8 to 10. There's going to be a little DJ section at the beginning. We're going to get you right. You know what I'm saying? And then we're going to go with a hard interview. It's going to be so good. We usually try to fit 2 interviews every Tuesday. But sometimes if it's a larger name or if it's somebody that, I really wanted to talk to for a while, we do the whole hour for them. You know what I mean? We got to show respect where it's due. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Man, we finally back, and it's so many things to talk about, so much new music.
Before we talk about that, make sure everybody watching, y'all like, comment, subscribe, do the whole thing, man. Yeah, man.
This is incredible. This is how you know we're in Season 3. Monte is leading the charge for the like, comment, and subscribe family.
Here we go.
Definitely do that. Definitely do that. Check out our previous episode with Shaw Calhoun, too. We have our interview with Shaw Calhoun for his previous album, My Regards. Big shout out to Shaw Calhoun and Big Eleanor Records. Showing mad love. Friends of the pod. You know what I'm saying? Friends of the show, so
definitely supporters.
Definitely go tap in with them, man. And that video is great. Go and enjoy that. So just like, when you like, comment, and subscribe, we can get into the main meat of the show. We miss a lot of things. Like a lot of things happen in, the world and hip hop and, it was so many things that happened during our break and we can't cover everything. But, some of the more recent things have been kind of telling. We want to definitely tap into a couple of those things. Like, we seen a recent development with an AI rapper, FN Mecca. Man, short-lived, very short-lived. And for all those who don't know who FN Mecca is or just about what the whole situation was, there was an AI rapper who was, they released a song and was signed to Capitol Records. And Capitol, was pretty much putting the bag behind them. Like they were like doing a whole production budget and everything. They were reaching out to, people. And it was announced that they signed this AI rapper. Now, a few days later, ends up they got deleted. Well, that's the thing. When you have a digital career, they can just delete your your entire thing, like your contract, whatever. They can just delete it, which they did, and they dropped the artist FN Mecca from their platform. Did you guys see it? What did you guys think when you saw that news?
First, I thought it was stupid for them to have an AI rapper in general.
Yeah.
But then for like the culmination of all that research and all that money, to be like a slap in the face to black culture and what hip hop actually is, like, and then for them to say that, oh, this is going to be something that we want, the future of music to be. We can have algorithms that can create songs that'll be well marketed to the general public. You can't erase the human element from hip hop.
Absolutely.
There's absolutely no way that you can do that.
Absolutely.
So how can you tell me that an AI can make a better hip hop song than the actual hip hop artist?
Can't.
You can't.
You can't.
You can't. That was the biggest thing that stood out to me. Like, what are you meaning to tell me that the entire black experience you're saying can be summed up in an algorithm?
Nah.
Not fucking with it.
Ain't doing it.
Not fucking
Can't
with it.
do it.
So I'm off. I'm off like that. So.
Yeah.
What about you, Sacoya?
I have nothing different to add. I didn't think it was gonna pan out well in the beginning. Anyway, I didn't really understand like what was the purpose behind it. I felt like, okay, if you're gonna do like an AI rapper or something like that for like the game world, that's like streaming shit. Like I thought that's the route it was gonna go. Like have them landing on Fortnite or something. Like but y'all just take y'all doing a lot.
Fortnite was kind of.
That's the lane.
In their lane.
That's the lane. Like Travis Scott did a Fortnite show. Like nah, man. And I definitely agree. I mean, I think it's a thing where we sort of just allow for black culture just to be recreated, reused, and all the time, just for whatever people want it to be, and
by white people. And
that was my instant gripe when I seen like the promo for it, like his song that he was saying, or the AI guy's song had nigga in it.
I was actually about to say, why you keep referring to it as he.
He? Wait, am I getting the pronouns wrong?
I'm gonna call it the it.
An it.
I don't understand it.
They, them, digital them. Definitely. No, I mean, but that's the thing. Like, them saying nigga told me that, like, whatever algorithm they're programming, before I looked into it, and I just looked at it for its face, and I'm thinking that maybe a computer generated the song, and I'm thinking that the algorithm is in some way inherently racist. I don't know how you even like, and that's the thing. And that's the thing. It's because the people who created the algorithm in and of itself, like, it's like you have to have some sort of racist reference point such that a computer can emulate that. It just doesn't naturally be racist unless you're flagging for certain things that it should pay attention to. And that's the thing. Nigga popped up in a song. So if I'm thinking a computer made this, I'm thinking that the algorithm is like just biased towards black music and just wants to recreate, whatever. The guy isn't necessarily black on the digital space. He's sort of tan, maybe white. I mean, we see a recent picture. He's a little down. He's a little tan now. I think this picture's a little darker, but I think they did it because he's next to the guy. But I want to talk about the actual voice behind FN Mecca, who spoke out and actually mentioned his gripes with, Capitol and all the things that happened around this particular issue. And we'll play this video.
What's going on, everybody? This Kyle the Hooligan. So I know y'all probably been hearing about this FN Mecca stuff. People been DMing me, and I try to keep it quiet because I was going to really wait till this shit blew up for real and then, went after them, because basically it was like they came to me with this AI shit and was like, would I want to be the voice of it? And I thought it was going to be some collaboration. They promised me equity into the company, percentages, all this stuff. So I'm thinking okay, there's about to be some collab, something different for me. So where I could do my music and be on some AI stuff with this FN Mecca character. So everything's going good. Next thing I know, niggas just ghosted me. Use my voice, use my sound, use the culture, and literally just left me high and dry. I ain't get a dime off of nothing. And they got record deals, all this stuff. I wasn't involved with no meetings or none of that.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing. I'm hearing that they were trying to give him the short end of the stick, effectively just use his, his intellectual property as well as his voice, to make content and not pay him for it, and then not give him any credits, not, involve him in any way. I'm so glad this thing got destroyed. I'm so glad it got deleted. I'm so glad it got deleted. You see, I'm super hyped. I'm so glad it got deleted, because if you're going to cosplay black culture, I needed to fail as soon as it hits the airwaves. And that's the thing, when it hit Twitter, it was getting destroyed. It was getting hit.
And that's the thing. This had to go through so many hands.
Many.
And just like him, some there had to be other black people involved in this that thought that this ultimately was a good idea.
Yeah.
Like even he just saying like, I thought I was gonna get a bag, get in this AI thing, but did you really think this through? Like, did you really think about what kind of cultural impact you were gonna have? Your voice,
exactly.
You as being a black person, we're going to perpetuate by creating this character,
precisely,
or helping this character come to life.
Yeah,
like you're just as guilty, bro. Like,
right. This kind of looks like him too. It looks like they made the AI character after his face. Yeah. Like if he has a little, what is it, the septum piercing and some dreads, like that's him. That's him, literally, and that's insane that they're also using his likeness.
In my likeness, and then don't even pay me no money.
You're gonna use my face, voice, and like, bro, what? It's insane. But that's just kind of life in America for black people.
He didn't think that. He didn't think that through. He saw the bag and was like,
for sure.
They said they was gonna give me this,
life in America for black people.
None of that. You didn't think.
He didn't have that in writing.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And that's the thing. Like, I think that goes into it. Like, I think being black in America means that any fly-by-night opportunity for you to get a bag is like you're willing to throw your entire passion into. Like, you're willing to throw yourself into this without even having a lot of plan B. And I'm not saying that the traditional black person would do that, but I'm thinking that if a lot of people are in the worst scenarios, the worst conditions, like, yo, bro, like I'm starving. The stake is gonna be what I'm risking my life on. You know what I'm saying?
But the good thing about where we are now is a lot of black artists are getting hyped to. Are getting hip to that shit, and they starting to demand what they're worth.
And they should.
Right. Just
get
like,
your money. Get your
just
money.
Like the Offset situation with QC. Like this man, he said, "I'm going solo. I demand the rights to my to my solo career, my solo music." He got that. And now they still trying to shave off the top of what he doing now. I paid for this, man.
Come on,
I thought we settled this like last year.
Ain't P.
Like, come on.
It ain't P.
We talked about this. We already did this.
P is not acting very P.
He is not being P.
Man, I'm telling you, man. Like this whole thing is crazy because, we recently seen the singles released from like Quavo and Takeoff, renamed Unc and Few. And, it just felt like at the time, it was just some new endeavor by the group. Not necessarily like an actual split, because we're seeing that Quavo and Takeoff are honestly on the side of P in this whole issue. And I'm like, bro, everybody's family here. And there's something that isn't being talked about as of why one person would, stick with your original manager versus one person, two people sticking with their original manager and one person, like, just leaving and just saying, just washing their hands with it. Like, I think that there is definitely something like afoot, and I think it's unfortunate because like to see family like separate is like the worst. It's one thing if we just in a group, we don't, we not fly like that, but like family separating there, and it's like, bro, come on, man, we got to get this right first, and then the business is, what I'm saying, if it's family.
Hope for that, like, because they are family and stuff like that, but how many groups done broke up?
That's true.
They always fail at some point.
That's true.
Yeah, how many times do family do you dirty?
Yeah. Especially for some money.
Man. I mean,
I ain't gonna say that's what's going on. But
yeah, right. Of course, allegedly. Allegedly.
That's just the reality of it.
Allegedly, yeah, for
that's
sure.
Just my perspective.
I mean, yeah, I think off camera we talked about like the big three. We talked about like Cardi B is huge. Quavo is huge. Who else? Lil Baby's huge. It's like 300. QC. Right. Like, these are some pretty huge names, and if you aren't aware, it seems as though like P just sort of wants to be on Offset's like catalog once he leaves QC, and it's like in perpetuity, and that's crazy to think that you own someone's intellectual property, even if you gave him a deal, even if you gave him a look, like you don't own their intellectual property to say, oh, I need credit on this as well because of my influence. Like, bro, like if that was the case,
even more so, like for you to originally say that, but we already hashed this out in court, bro.
Yeah, like, exactly.
We got documentation that shows that I'm going to be ownership of this, and now you still want it.
Yeah, it feels like a Irv and Ashanti situation.
Yeah,
like bro, we've been finished with this, bro. We've been finished with that, bro. Man, that was insane. Okay. I don't even want to talk about Irv. That was so cringeworthy, bro.
It was.
Like, it hurt to see that, man. We missed that too. I wish we would have.
Supposed to be Irv,
bro, man.
You're looking like Irv Magic.
Man. But I've been hearing some good reviews of like that BET documentary of like just just Murder Inc. Just in general. Like, it seems as though the story is kind of captivating in the background, and there's some other stuff that needs to be discussed that people aren't really tapped into yet. I don't think many people went and watched, but I think they're waiting for the larger, bigger documentary story that's going to be told by Irv Gotti soon. So, this whole crazy thing. I'm gonna wait till all of the facts come out before I have an opinion.
Them unsungs.
Right? No, real rap. Real rap. Before I call anybody bitter, before I call anybody like crazy, I just want to make sure we get all that right. So, man, and we talked about just crazy things on the internet and wild scenarios and people getting sued. I mean, do y'all think Lizzo gonna sue this guy Ari Spears? He was saying some wild stuff online. Like,
he
was saying some wild stuff online.
He was saying some wild stuff online,
like,
and
it's either
and
hands
especially
or
for
sue.
it to come from him. Like, you gotta throw hands at that
but
point.
But Lizzo's a woman, so might as well just sue.
She got somebody, touch him up real quick.
Man.
Yeah, what she gonna sue for?
I mean, you could just call it whatever you want. Just people sue people for no reason.
For him to say,
because they don't like people. They sue him all the time because I'm gonna make your life a living hell.
But that ain't even Lizzo's character. She operates on self-confidence,
right? Positivity.
That this nigga could make her feel bad about herself. Like,
man,
like,
Ari Spears is hilarious. I can't. Let's not get it twisted. Let's not get it twisted. He's hilarious, but I think he stepped out of line. I think he stepped out of line.
Because he was asked about her music. Like, do you think that she's kind of made a lane for the certain type of music that she does? And he just went on like, I can't get over the fact that she, like. I don't want to repeat it because that was foul, bro.
Yeah, it looks like the poop emoji. That's what he said. He said she's pretty in the face.
Going to make it, like, better.
Did you just say poop?
The poop emoji. Yeah. He said she looks like the other word, but you know how YouTube is.
I just can't get over the fact that you said poop.
The poop. What, doo-doo? Is that better for
That was worse.
No, let's not.
What words do you have for poop?
About his weight and about like saying he's not funny and all of this. And he made a video. He came back and was pretty much like, y'all are black women. He stated it was black women for the most part that like we, lead with emotions and stuff when it comes to how we react to stuff. And we don't base things off of fact. And him being ugly and not funny is subjective, and at the end of the day, Lizzo is.
What a wild statement.
So it's like,
me being ugly and not funny is subjective.
Like,
What?
Lizzo being big and unattractive is subjective as well.
Exactly.
He didn't say she was unattractive. He said she has a pretty face. He just said her body. So I guess like
the poop emoji.
I'm not defending him at all. It was just foul. I cannot.
Who are you talking to? 5-year-olds?
Bro, real rap. For real. For real. I think, Lizzo's pretty. Lizzo's definitely
She
pretty.
is.
But she be naked as hell.
She do be naked as hell.
All the time.
And confident
Everywhere.
naked.
And I will say that could be a topic for something, but not like she's unattractive and
Right, yeah.
shit on her. But her like shock value kind of way of moving through the media and stuff, like
definitely
that could be a topic, but like not. Come on.
Yeah, that's not the point of contention here. Like
he just wasn't the guy.
Yes,
for
this
that
wasn't
joke.
sure.
That wasn't it.
Hey,
It was
yo.
one
I
out
mean,
from
but if dude was skinny and he was like making
the
ish,
same-
like what it would be kind of more offensive, right?
When I say he wasn't the guy, I mean he wasn't funny enough to
Oh,
like capture
okay,
it like the way that it could have been
Poop
captured.
emoji.
Yeah.
it was an insult.
I'm sorry. That was
exactly.
That was
it felt like
like
an insult. It didn't feel like a joke.
that was just wild, bro. Like that was
things that they say. Like some people will be like, "Oh, I did a comedian." Like,
Right.
what do you expect?
Yeah.
But that he didn't do it right.
Yeah.
That's not how you do it.
Not the guy.
Don't do it at all. But that ain't it.
And speaking of naked as hell, we missed that whole FAMU debacle where Shorty took our graduation pictures in front of the snake,
We did miss that.
and she was
Probably
like
talked about it crazy.
butt naked. But apparently she's like a rapper or like a content creator or something. Not sure. But she was somebody outside of just the photos. It wasn't just shock value. She was like,
I kept
you know.
saying OnlyFans, but I don't know if
that would make sense. It's on brand.
That would make sense.
Definitely. Definitely.
But I don't want to put that on her.
I mean, allegedly.
Allegedly. This episode's gonna be called.
Allegedly. Yeah, for sure.
The people who were saying that she deserved to lose her degree over that, picture.
She lost her degree?
No, people were saying
Why
that
would...
as a punishment, she should not receive it.
Bro, I done finished my degree. This is stuff I did after.
Yeah, 4 years is gotta be...
I did this after the degree. What are you talking about?
That speaks to her being black, but we just gonna say
of course.
Another, you know.
Everybody
always trying to seek the most severe punishment, even when it makes absolutely no sense.
Precisely. Took the words out of my mouth. Man, it's insane. But, you know, shout out to HBCUs. We went to Howard. You know what I'm saying? Howard in the building. You know what I mean? And, you know, I always like to big shout out HBCUs and everybody that comes from, and some of the things that we deal with is like these huge student loans. And we seen Biden recently, you know, did a student loan debt relief, which was, I think, about $10,000 to $20,000, roughly, depending on your situation. Like, you got to get, like, you know, you got to qualify for the 20.
Right.
Man, Jesus Christ. Where do we start?
First work choice. Let's not call it a relief, because
that's what they marketing it as.
It's
the relief. It's
Let's
not.
Choose your words a little.
Yeah,
bit.
10 to 20 ain't relief at all.
Around, I'm still gonna have to pay you something. So you can't do anything,
man.
Really. But
yeah, for real.
But like,
for real.
Just a little bit about it. Like, do y'all think that? I don't know, like $10,000, $20,000, that could help some people. Like, depending on where you went to school, community college, or something like that. But the people who went to these Howards and all of that,
that was like not even a semester. It's not even a semester.
A quarter of a semester down there. Yeah.
I'm still coming out of pocket a pretty penny. Just you need to up that next time. Think about that.
Yeah. I mean, you wanna go?
No,
the thing is, like, when we talk about student loan like debt, the crazy thing is I see a lot on Twitter, like a lot online, where like people are saying that, you know, a lot of black people too, that like a part of reparations is like student loan relief and shit. And I'm like, but it's not, they're not saying particularly for people who descended from slavery. They're more saying just like in general. If you just cancel student debt, that could be one of the forms of reparations. And of course, I just vehemently disagree. But I think that it's because of a particular reason. In fact, that not many black people really went to college. Like, so if we just cancel student loan debt, we can't make these think pieces about closing the racial wealth gap. We can't make these think pieces about supplying reparations or doing redress for people, because like the vast majority of Americans who went to college aren't black.
Yep.
And the thing is, the people who did go, we would love $20,000, $50,000 canceled debt, of course, for us. But like for everybody, that's only widening the racial wealth gap, because now you're getting paid back the investment that you could have paid anyway. I'm talking about white people here who like their parents paid or their grandparents paid. It's like now you're just getting that investment back. Now it's even further of a distance I got to travel to equal out this playing field in terms of, you know, the racial wealth gap for me particularly. You know, so even though it did me a solid, everybody is sort of, you know, at the bottom of this totem pole now, because in terms of black people.
But then if you want to take it a little bit further, then they have a cap on it. I think if you have to make under $125,000 or something like that. So even if you've gotten to a point as a black person where you're able to do that well, now I don't even qualify.
Now it's just like,
so
bro,
now you just
on,
bottleneck this little small population of people who can even take advantage of this.
Yeah.
But it's not even helping them in the long run.
Biden.
Promises that just aren't kept. If you were gonna actually relieve the debt, then take it away 100%. Especially since you've already minimized, you know, the population or the amount of people who can actually, you know, benefit from this.
That thing, like how many
Makes
years
no sense.
now? And we ain't plummeted. Just go ahead, erase that. We don't need that.
Moratorium has been like a constant
thing. He's trying to do it now
thing.
because what's coming up, re-elections. But nobody want Biden old ass.
Talk to him. Talk to him. Hey man, down ballot, man. Man, last time I voted down ballot because, like, you know, your policies have to like literally have me in mind for you to get my vote. And I think everybody thinks that way. They just get mad at black people for thinking that way.
Right? Yeah. That's literally how political parties work.
Yeah. And the thing is, I'm saying that, but I'm not going to go and vote Republican. That's the thing, you know, because I know that they definitely don't have my best interests at heart. So it's like, I'm making sure that you understand the pressures here. Like, I'm looking for the things that can be done for me and my family, you know, and if you don't supply me with that, you don't get my vote. Down ballot, I'm doing all my little legislations, all my little local politics, all my everything on the bottom list, and I'm going to just leave that blank, bro. You got it. Figure it out yourself. Right. You left me out beforehand. Why you need my help now? That's how I think about it. You know what I'm saying? So, and speaking of Biden, There was a recent clip I seen on Twitter that was around this conversation about like the tension, the racial tension in California, and I'll play the clip just to start this off because Biden said something very specific to the NAACP in a leaked Zoom call. If you haven't seen it, please go see it, and we'll play it here.
And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
And I think that is important. That particular clip is important because two things. We see a lot of the issues in California where there is direct tension between black people and Hispanic people. It's not really Hispanic people. It's black people and various Latinx people. And we give it this term called Hispanic. So one, there's the tension in Cali, but two, there's this designation that we have a difficulty with, Latino and Hispanic. And just for all of my listeners today, I want to make sure that you leave this video knowing the difference because you need to know the difference. The difference between Latino and Hispanics are Hispanic and Latino are often interchangeably used, though they actually mean two different things. Hispanic refers to people who speak Spanish or are descended from Spanish-speaking populations, while Latino refers to people who are from or descended from people from Latin America. And that's a very particularly important distinction because when you say Hispanics, you kind of just wrap in everybody. You kind of just wrap in anybody who may have spoke or any Spanish language, whatever, and we're not even referencing dialects. And I think that's a very important key in that because if you're speaking the same language, theoretically, the dialects, and we see a lot of this in African countries, a lot of this in Latin American countries, where the dialect will completely change the language. Whereas you can go somewhere and they won't even know what you're saying. And I think that's important because when you wrap people into this one group and you try to say that these things are true for this one group, you realize that it's comprised of like 33 countries. And it's like, these people are completely different ideologically. They have different belief systems, and a lot of things aren't necessarily shared except for the language of Spanish, which might not even be the same. Yeah. And that's the thing. We use the term Hispanics a lot, and I think we need to stop using the term Hispanics because Hispanic literally isn't real in terms of a group. Like, there's no actual group of people who think in the same way that is quote unquote Hispanic. They have different, some are Democrats, some are independents, some are Republicans. Like, these are completely different people. We need to make sure we disaggregate this data such that we understand the nuances between people. Because when you really look at it, just like Biden did, he tried to use the group of Hispanics to, effectively pressure the NAACP to thinking a certain way. Yeah, because he said this group is so big and more than you. Right. We realize that this group doesn't exist. They're not even together. They're voting differently. They're thinking differently. They're, Now, if we refer to people as Latinx, that's a completely different thing. And I think that's a better way to describe certain individuals when we are doing these conversations because, honestly, that's a better indicator of whether or not your values are shared. And these, communities are sharing, ideas. That's the thing. Why is that important? Why is that important, you ask me? Because, like I mentioned in California, there was an article I seen where it mentioned that black employees were subjected daily to such slurs such as the N-word, Aunt Jemima, negrafia, which means ugly black woman, cochina, pig, and cuachara, I can't pronounce it, cockroach in Spanish. They write stuff like that on the wall.
Cucaracha.
Ah, you're right.
Cuachara.
I don't need to pronounce it right, nigga.
Yeah, you do. You were just talking about dialects and...
Hey, man. It's not my personal dialect, so if I get it wrong, I feel like it's okay. If it was mine and I got it wrong, then you take my card. But those are some of the things that were written on the walls in one of these warehouses in California where there is this tension. Like, I seen this article and I had to read it because I wasn't necessarily aware of the tension between like black people and Hispanic people, and not really Hispanic people, but Latinx people.
That
in
tension is
Cali.
very real and very long. Has a very long history.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just think about it, that entire area was taken from Mexico.
Yeah.
So it was taken from Hispanic Latinx people, and they feel a sense of entitlement to that area and to that land. And then when you get into the the idea of immigration and what all that entails, those mixing and intertwining of two populations that are essentially both minorities striving to be something better, and it just goes back right into that Biden video where he's just trying to perpetuate somebody to be the minority. Like it's like, hey, black people, these Latinx people are also a minority. Put them down so you can get up. Like, it's that constant battle and that constant struggle of like somebody has to be at the bottom of the totem pole in order for somebody else to rise. And so that's always been a constant battle on the West Coast because nobody wants to be nobody wants to be on the bottom bunk. You know what I mean? I want to be on the top rung. So it's a fight. Literally a fight. Grade school fights. Man. High school fights, on the street fights, like just because you're black and I'm brown. It's literally that simple.
That's crazy. You built a country. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like
both of our groups.
like that's insane.
Throw the Native Americans in there too, because
even though they were slaveholders,
they
had slaves. I mean, they rebuilt whole Native American colonies with slave labor. Yeah, so it's
some rich Hispanics also had slaves.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, slavery was definitely prevalent outside of the U.S. Definitely. Yeah. But I mean, and I say that to say, it's important to understand these relationships, like these tensions, because if you would have asked me, like I don't have any issues with anyone that's Latinx or Hispanic. I mean, and that's the thing, I would have never known this tension was present in Cali. So like doing this research was important. Like knowing this information was important, because I need to understand that like there are people who are literally just like racist to you because of your blackness. And it's no reason for them to like, or for anyone who is of a Latinx community to hate you because of your skin color. Like a lot of Latinx communities can't even utilize the property of whiteness. Like they can't even use whiteness or like the American dream idea in America. Like you got shitted on too. Like, why hate me when you can't even access whiteness, And I'm not trying to access whiteness. Like, I'm not trying to stop you from it.
A lot of Hispanics do, have that ability to access whiteness.
For sure.
They can be white passing it. They can operate in those areas.
She checked white. For sure. She's Hispanic, baby. She checks white on all her documents.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And that's the thing, man.
They've already got that upper leg. They're a little bit closer in the skin color.
Man. We got to be aware of these things, and I just want to read a little bit from this article. So it says, with the rapid growth of the Latino population, Latinos from the majority in many low-wage workplaces and instances of anti-black bias and colorism among them is drawing new scrutiny. Since at least 2016, the EEOC alleged black workers were subjected to the N-word by coworkers and managers many times per day, including N-word, B-word, lazy ass N-word, ain't did no work all day, and look at those N-words looking like monkeys, working like slaves, like they should be. Latino supervisors often wouldn't let the black workers get water or take bathroom breaks. They'd say, "You're big and black, you can keep working." Some complained to him about being called monkey and boy by Latino colleagues. Photos taken by black workers showed a women's restroom defaced with graffiti, N-words, stink up the aisles, and black people stink. Peepo, P-I-P-O, stink. A men's restroom was defaced with N-word killer. There would be a milkshake all over my car. Our tires were flat. There would be urine on our tires. Black workers were being diagnosed with PTSD disproportionately and fired and not allowed to advance through the ranks. About 300 black workers are gaining compensation, same as much as tens of thousands of dollars for this. And yeah, man, this is real life. Like this is happening, and many people won't even know that this is a real thing. Like it's so bad that like you have race bias cases now. Like it's like literally discrimination suits. It's insane.
This is also why nobody gets a pass, bro, because anybody can turn around and try to use that word.
Minority, people of color. Whatever you want.
As soon as I piss you off, I'm a nigger and I'm this. Or I don't even got to piss you off. You can just...
That word.
Yeah, that word. Well, I don't know what word you was talking about, but...
I'm saying to play the victim, almost in a way, of like trying to make sure that your oppression is like the most... Like, I'm a minority, you will be like a gay white man and be like, I'm a minority. Like, bro, you're not a minority. Like in a real way.
Oppressed, so it's time to be oppressed.
You know what I mean? And even further down the line, it's just weird because I think people use those words like people of color and minority to shortchange black activism or at least progression, really. Yeah. But yeah, neither here nor there. We talked about Biden's sort of issues with like the NAACP and like almost scolding them in that meeting. If and like I said, if you haven't seen that video, you definitely need to see that video because it is insane.
Yeah,
it is.
The entire video.
It's insane. It's like a little bit over like 20-30 minutes. I think it might be a half an hour, maybe an hour. But yeah, insane. I definitely want to talk about you mentioned the West Coast a little bit, Monte, and just that tension over in the West Coast. And I seen a recent article about like the California police doing some things that were like they were like texting each other.
Yeah, it was the Torrance, California cops.
Yeah. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so a day after the Torrance police shot and killed Christopher DeAndre Mitchell in 2018, his mother and a dozen other people went down to the headquarters, to protest. And at the same time, there was a group of officers, two of them which had killed him, Mitchell, were discussing like, oh, I was going to tell you, all those N-word family members are all pissed off in front of the station, and pretty much like texting back and forth. The court records showed that the officers later mused about what might happen once the identities of those who shot the 23-year-old came to public. And they're like, oh, yeah, gun cleaning party at my house when they release my name. Like,
this is a game,
bro.
It's a game.
It's literally
Find
a game.
a nigga, kill a nigga. Like, when if you ever been, in the hood, from the hood, you got hop out boys. You feel me? When you get jumped into a gang or when you get initiated into a gang, you hop out, tag the first nigga you see, and hop back in.
Yep.
Whatever that tag looks like.
Whatever that is.
You know? It's the same thing for police.
Yep.
But their tag is us. Always. Always us. You can get them for a DUI tag. You can get them for a drunk and disorderly tag. You can get them for a gang violation tag. No matter what the tag is, it's always us.
Yeah.
And that's fucked up, man.
Man, it's so
this is just another example, a latest in a long stream of examples of police playing tag in order to get their stripes in this game or the society that it is to be a police officer.
Yeah. And this is 12 officers that are involved that are texting and
I need to sue the whole department need to get sued. I'm trying to get that bag off this because bro, the only good redress is money. Every other situation that someone did someone wrong, they paid them. Why should I change the standard now because it's me? No, you were racist, so pay me. Give me half your budget. Point blank. Keep doing it. You're going to give it to somebody else too.
Yeah. His whole family need to be nice.
So they've already so they've started to dismiss some of the cases that the officers were involved in. At least one person has been released from prison. But the lawsuits that these officers have accrued together is more than $10 million, and they're still employed by the city. Y'all are still employing them.
I need them to be fired too.
Why are they not fired? No resigning so you can go work somewhere else. No, fired.
Man,
they need to fire this entire police system.
Under the jail.
What needs to be fired? Because when you think about the longevity of what police system looks like, it was created to
wrangle slaves.
Yeah, quite literally. It was created to wrangle slaves, to keep the underprivileged and the underserved in line.
Same place.
Yeah, in that same place. That's what it was created for. They have marshals and sheriffs to do the actual police work and judges and stuff like that to do all of that.
Come on,
exactly. That's what police are. They're like wranglers.
Yeah,
just like you said, wranglers. So that entire system and that entire ideology has been perpetuated for years, hundreds of years.
We definitely
which
need to
is why it needs to
that.
be the whole thing needs to be dismantled.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what people don't understand. It's not like, oh, people, we just want you to defund the police. No, we want you to change that entire system.
Yeah,
the system that was built to say black people, keep them here.
Throw it away, get something new.
Start over.
Let's just start it over.
You
know what I'm saying? Whatever we got ain't working.
Yeah.
The math ain't math.
I'm for the idea of there's specific departments for the specific things.
Yeah.
Like if someone needs help with someone who has mental health issues,
you send a mental
need
health
to send
specialist.
someone who is specialized in that.
And someone who can protect them in the event that they get hurt. You know, I get that. The gun is fine there. Like if you know that they're a violent threat. Only that though. Not some
you just
like
pull
some
up off
wellness
shit
check.
Like, oh, what's going on? You don't even know
You
what's
know?
going on, and you just start
Right.
shooting and shit, like pulling your gun out.
Like,
That's
yo,
weird behavior,
You're
weird
supposed
energy.
to resolve the situation.
You scary,
Conflict
bruh.
resolution is your
Yeah.
job.
They need to be specialists who literally are trained in de-escalation. Like, you know, that's and to be fair, all the money that we spend on police, they need to be investing in these specific sectors of things that like make a call very specific. Like, oh, that's what's going on. We're sending these people, and maybe these people just in case, you know, so they can support.
Yep.
You know, they just sending out regular units who just
Whoever-
supposed to know
whoever's
all of this
closest to
shit.
the scene.
Like, they don't know all of this. Like,
How long-
bro,
how
how
mu-
long did it take you to be a lawyer?
Right? How many months does it take you to be a police officer?
You need to be a lawyer level. To me, I'm
I
like the
agree.
training that goes into police need to they need to invest in the best teachers for you
Man,
to comprehend and
There's
understand the
folks
law.
that work at T-Mobile
Like-
that know how to de-escalate a situation better than police officers.
No, for real.
To be
They
real
get
about it.
angry
Like-
customers in there all the time, and I'm
Like-
sure
Bro,
they know how to handle things.
it's like with the amount of money we pay police, we should be able to do all of these important, specific things, direct action things to very specific situations. You know, not
Agreed.
it's common sense to me. Just make too much sense. But yeah,
Too much like right though.
yeah, it's. I mean, that's effectively what we're going around is the fact that like a lot of this racism that we see, you know, is sort of, you know, coming to light. I think a lot of these situations we're bringing awareness to like the closeted racism and like this
Yep.
low key like just thing, just of, you know, maybe it's white supremacy, maybe whatever, it's discrimination, but like racism, you know, and I think it's important to call these things out because, you know, just like we seen with the fire department, you know, Juneteenth party thing, like calling these things out will bring a lot of change, specifically when you can catch them in the act of doing it.
Yep.
So there was an
Candy
article recently. There was an article recently where there was a guy who went to it was a fire department party. He's in the fire department, black guy, who went to this party that was supposed to be a Juneteenth party, and the people who threw it were white, and they had a bunch of random racist stereotypical things at this party, like KFC, like watermelons. They put the
If
like
I
the Juneteenth thing in the fields and shit.
An
Like,
invite to a Juneteenth
like-
party, and it's a white person throwing it, I will not be showing up
man, and you can
at all.
and you can tell they're a Trump supporter. So it's a Trump supporter throwing
Yeah.
a Juneteenth party. It was a
Guys,
cutout of
that's a
Trump,
Juneteenth party.
like this in the back. It's a cutout of Donald Trump. Why would I want to see Donald Trump on
might-
Juneteenth?
I might walk in, grab the Hennessy, and walk back out.
Hey yo, if they have Hennessy,
I might
Since
walk
Cause you know
wanna
white
do
people don't
all
drink
that.
Hennessy.
I mean, but they perpetuating the stereotypes.
It's
so
true.
They, don't have to
They
They
do
probably
everything
better
we
as
do,
many.
so
Go ahead, grab it, and walk back out.
man. But yeah, no, it's insane because recently we seen not only that case get, you know, a bunch of attention on Twitter, but we also seen the press conference where they were trying to explain, well, the lawyer of the family who threw the party were trying to explain how non-racist they are. They don't have a racist bone in their body. And then within minutes of him saying that, they found a parody account where the wife is tweeting a bunch of racist stuff.
not adding up, sir.
Like, she's literally tweeting racist things. And the thing is, it's like, this is why I think, you know, making it public and talking about these things publicly are so important, because the standard to prove that somebody is racist is impossible. You need a smoking gun
Yeah.
for somebody to know for a fact whether or not they're a racist or not. Like, prove that I'm racist. I can call you an N-word right now in front of everybody. You know, unless everybody corroborates that I did that. You have no proof to call me a racist. I can
Yeah.
just be, you know, you may have heard it wrong.
You can't hide behind your whiteness anymore. 'Cause it's
Exactly.
right there on camera.
It was nationally publicized. So now you can't run away from it, and the truth is coming to light. There's actually a video, if we could watch it. There's someone in the audience who was, I think, a reporter who asked them about this particularly.
You put racist comments. How can we believe that the buckets of fried chicken, the Juneteenth cups and flag, as well as other racial stereotypes, including the Hennessy, you had no clue about, and again, you're pushing racist comments on a parody Twitter account?
I'm not going to really speak to my parody Twitter account, and I can see where you can try to link the two. I think that Corey covered the stereotypical things at the party. I grew up in East Cleveland. I'm aware of the perception of KFC. Was that the reason it was in my home? No, it's an easy meal. So that's all I can really say. I mean, it was not.
It's lying. You had racist stuff.
I'm not going to speak to my parody account.
So she looks stressed.
I think we done.
On a
Like
parody
this.
account.
I've made my apologies.
Okay. Supporters,
You made
foundations.
racist comments on this parody
Yo,
account.
she remind me of the show.
How are those, and we've heard from Doctor as well, that
The white shorty that's always in the
you
the
claim
old
that
show
you
that's
aren't
always in
racist but are
everything.
pushing
She look
racist
just
comments. How does that, can you break up the difference for me, I guess?
Let me start, and then Mary can talk. Just so it's clear,
Listen.
the claim that was filed had nothing to do with her Twitter account. This claim was filed based upon what existed at the party and what took place that day. There's no question that somebody that has a racist Twitter account, which Mary did, is somebody that's going to be somewhat aware, I guess, of these racial.
He said that live. He said that live.
I
and this
admit
is
that she's
their-
racist and she had a Juneteenth party, but it wasn't racist.
You're fired, sir. Because
This is their lawyer.
But it could have been racist.
Like,
There's no
bro.
We
possible
already
way
know she was
that a
racist.
racist lady
Bro,
could have a
this
racist
is their
Juneteenth.
But you just-
lawyer.
You just stamped it for real, like even more. Why would you do that?
Yeah, let's just
Like,
put a nail in that.
Yeah.
Because man, if you ever needed a masterclass on how not to represent a client, that was it.
Watch that video.
Yeah, watch that video. It scare you into
no,
doing
for
the right
real.
thing. I would just end the press conference, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They come to light. You need to make sure that you're holding these people accountable in public so that when these moments happen, you get it in 4K. You make sure that they are seen stumbling over their words, looking crazy, and not knowing, trying to lie on the spot. Like, come on, man. It's clear to everybody who watched that.
Like,
Bro, what are you saying?
nothing else needs to be
What
said.
are you saying, bro? Nothing else, bro.
Tell it on yourself.
And
Oh,
then
God.
you let him come in
Oh,
and
God.
snitch on you even more. Like, okay.
Somebody should have said, "Excuse me, sir."
No. Because if I was on the stage, I was like, what did you just say?
Can we please strike that from the
I'm
record?
dead.
I vote to strike that from the evidence, please.
I'm dead, man. Definitely. Definitely.
She wrong, and you need to be held accountable, ma'am.
Man, and speaking
100%.
of holding accountable, somebody needs to be held accountable for them putting all that cotton in that black boy head.
Man, listen.
Somebody needs to be held accountable. So
Listen,
if y'all know
man.
what I'm talking about. Recently, at an, I think it was Orioles and
Red Sox game?
Red Sox, yeah, Orioles
Yeah.
and Red Sox game. They had the Little League World Series representatives there at the game, participating, and kids being kids, they decided to put cotton-like material into this black boy's hair and just like interweave it into his hair, so it looked like he had a head full of cotton. And somebody over at ESPN and Sports Center thought it was a great idea for them to just zoom right in onto this little black boy's head and talk blatantly and laugh and joke about how they were putting cotton into this young boy's head. And then they try to go back and rinse it and say, no, we spoke to the family and we spoke to everybody and we told them that it wasn't in any way racist or meant to be distasteful or harmful.
Whose segment? Like who was discussing it?
ESPN. Sports Center.
ESPN themselves. Sports Center themselves. Man.
You spoke to the family and they said it was okay.
Oh my God. All right, this
There's so
the
many
World
things
Series of
wrong.
Cotton.
There's so many things wrong with that, man. It's just like,
man.
And apparently they were saying that that the kids were trying to emulate a popular baseball player who has like
They're trying to rinse it.
white mohawk or
Trying to
something
rinse
like that in his hair. But if you look at the picture,
It's
a white
completely
man?
covering his head.
completely covering his
It's
head.
not a mohawk.
And
Why does that make
it's-
sense?
I don't even
And
need to
out of
make it
all
that
the
far.
kids there, it's a little black boy who has the cotton in his
See,
head.
and that'd be the
It's a
thing that
white
make me
man.
mad because
Ain't it?
like they be trying to make it seem like I'm stupid. Like I
Yeah,
can't
like,
comprehend like this was clearly
They can
racist.
give you simple answers and you just take it and just
Like
be
we
like,
just
Like, bro, is the
blind,
general
whitewashed blind,
population
we don't
just-
see.
Like, are we just dumb? Like, we gotta be. At least in your mind, we have to be stupid to not clearly see that, like, here's the thing. Racism is taught, right? Like, nobody's born racist, but you can live in a system where, like, if the system doesn't teach you, your parents will, you know? And that's the thing. Because where do these white kids get the idea that in some way this kid, Cotton, this kid, Cotton,
Right.
Cotton,
You know, like,
this kid. Where do you get that from?
the correlation. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? That's not,
That's toxic.
bro. What? You know what I'm saying? And the thing is to have the discernment to know that this isn't appropriate, because I don't for any moment, you know, think that somebody thinks this is cool. Because, like, even if it was cool for everybody to do it, doesn't mean that it's cool. Like, your parents are around, you ain't doing that. Other people around, you ain't doing that. Friends, kids have discernment. You know what I'm saying? They get taught by their parents. And I think this is, you know, even more of an indignation of, like, what their parents believe. Because if they're teaching their kids, or at least in a loose conversation, their kids, like, pick up on this. This is the thing. Oh, you black, Cotton.
Yep.
Why do I get that? Why, you know what I'm saying? Why does that make sense? It doesn't.
Like also, people try to make it seem like because they're kids that they be innocent. Like,
No.
kids can
like
be
those kids that came to
assholes,
Howard
and
with
kids
those
can
Make
be
America
racist.
Great, America Great Again hats on.
They walked proudly on our campus with them
Right.
hats on. Like, they, come on.
And as adults, it's your job to make sure that, you know, you monitor the situation and make sure it doesn't escalate into something bigger. So whoever idea it was to put the camera on this little boy and show that to the entire world, one, it was good, but it was also very, very bad.
Bittersweet, yeah.
Yeah, because it shows us just exactly, you know, what
The
they
truth.
think of us. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the truth.
Mm-hmm.
What
For
do
sure.
they think about us, you know, on the ground level? The kids.
Yeah.
What are they teaching their children to perpetuate into the next generation that's going to have all these, you know, other ideas of what black people are, who black people are?
For sure.
The same thing that we've all been experiencing. So yes, it shines a light on it, but two, bro, you probably just lost a job because that was
on God.
Like, come on.
I mean, because a kid's life is probably,
Yeah.
you know,
he's going to be humiliated.
his face wasn't blocked
tortured.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because kids are relentless.
And when you put
Man.
yeah, I ain't even finna.
man. Microaggressions, macroaggressions, all types of racial aggressions, man. And
Them airing that, it just kind of shows like, oh, you could, I guess, okay. Like,
Yeah.
no, it's not.
It's just a joke. Trying to make a joke out of slavery.
yeah, man, insane.
Like,
Insane. And where do they get this cotton from? That's my real question.
Right.
Like, where do they get all
Y'all
of this
came
cotton
prepared for
from?
this.
did they bring that from, like, where,
can't
like, you know
prepare
what I'm
for
saying? They
Like,
brought
where do
that
you
in
just
their pocket for
find
something.
cotton on hand? Like, they, like, I'm trying to figure that out. That was my first question. Like, where is this even?
I can tell you right now, I wouldn't know where to go to buy cotton.
Hell no. I'm trying to stay as
Like-
far away from cotton, except for my Hanes t-shirts.
Yeah.
It's not no farmer's market or no, like, you're not just going to buy cotton. So.
Right. Right. Speaking of t-shirts, if you can't tell, we're all on theme. If you made it to this video so far, actually go in the comments right now. Tell us, out of the 3 shirts, which one is your favorite anime? And I need to know all 3.
That's not.
You need to know all 3.
That's not fair.
You want to get a little
That's
peek?
not
You want to get a little peek?
Cause
All right.
My shirt is best.
All right. First of all,
That's not
No, it's
fair.
My shirt is best.
Okay.
King.
Because
Kangs around here.
I should have put on
Alright.
my other shirt.
we was
Look at y'all.
Kangs.
We was Kangs.
Shout out my Pan Africanists out there. They'll come around one day. Man,
Jesus.
so I definitely want to talk about, stay on this topic a little bit, because, you know, these macro aggressions is what I call them, like blatant forms of racism and like sort of things that they try to, you know, wash and rinse and make it seem like it wasn't that deep. It's not. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. You know, like there's this thing called quiet quitting that I seen recently about, you know, people not necessarily doing their best at their job. They're sort of just kind of
Bare minimum.
minimum, just
What-
doing their own thing.
Does my
What-
offer
what
letter
I'm-
say
what
for
I'm
me
paid
to
for.
do?
Yeah.
What I'm paid
And in
to
the
do.
context of black
okay.
people, I
Yeah.
understand if you take that position. I definitely do, especially if there's
100%.
not any, you know, any opportunity to rise in the ranks.
Yeah.
You know, if you know that on top, bro,
Do
do
what you
you,
do,
bro.
bro.
Stay in your lane.
Get that check.
I don't care if you're taking 2-hour lunch breaks or whatever.
Like, bro,
Do you?
Don't
babe.
give them your weekends. Your,
Don't tell them your
after
schedule.
hours. Don't give them none of that.
Take off randomly.
Oh, I'm unavailable
Do
on
your
that
thing.
day. Sorry. So.
And that's my thing. Like,
Yeah.
if you got a
Mental
vacation
health
days, take them.
Take it.
Take them. Take them
Mm.
mental health days for sure. But apparently, like, quiet quitting's a thing. And apparently I've seen or I've heard some things that are more along the lines of a lot of people who aren't necessarily black is sort of like white people, Asian people, Hispanic people, or Latinx people, just sort of not doing the bare minimum. Doing the bare minimum. And I'm like, bro, why is that the case for you though? Like in a real way, why is that the case for you? Unless you're facing racism and you're like Asian or like say you're Indian and like you don't see any rise in the ranks either. Other than that, like
it's also just a marker of what this new generation is. Everybody.
You think they lazy?
Lazy as fuck.
Oh my god.
Lazy as fuck.
I can see that.
Lazy as fuck.
But
my little brother don't know how to open the blinds.
We know our worth, or they know their worth.
Sure, some people are lazy for sure. I don't want to put that on the generation though. I don't want to put that on them. They theoretically could be, but I don't want to put it on them personally.
I'm just man.
I won't say they're lazy, but knowing your worth is important. Like I'm not finna be jumping backwards, answering my phone off hours, coming in on the weekends all willy nilly because it looks good. Am I getting paid? That little overtime, I don't want that.
Facts.
That's not doing nothing for me.
Don't ask me to
do I don't want that.
I
want my time, and I want to.
Sure.
100%.
Don't go above and beyond if they're not paying you for it. They're not showing you that they value you in this company. Don't do it.
You can't move up like you said.
Because in all honesty, we black people, we ain't got to be doing all that no more. And there was a point in time where you had to be above and beyond. You had to do all this in order to get the job. You got the job. Now just keep it. By keeping the job, all you got to do is what you were paid.
100%. 100%. Man, now I definitely. I want to get into this a little bit more. We on this topic of racism. We're on this topic of like things that are happening and like these microaggressions, and not getting what you're worth, and even getting treatment based on your blackness. Just only solely on your blackness. And just people's view of that. There was this video I seen from a YouTube account called Something About Chickens. I know that's a weird name, but he does like content on Omegle. And Omegle is like where you it's like a few seconds you can talk with strangers, and like you can switch videos and go to someone else and just clip off as much as you want to. But recently when he posted a video, he actually posted a video of a compilation of some of the things that he hears when he's doing some of these videos. So here it is.
Ask me a random question. Are you a nigger? I'm glad I recorded that. Hey, what's up? Hurry up. Oh, I like the nigger toe. You're a nigger. Hello? Hey? Hi. What?
Them fucking eyebrows kill me.
Niggers? Hello.
And that's just part 1. This is part 2.
Hey. Hello. Hello. How's your day? Hey, nigga. Hey. Hello. What's up, nigger? Alright, glad I recorded that. Say hi to my video. Alright. What's up, man? What's up, nigger? Alright, I'm glad I recorded that. I hope you have a good day. Love you, Daddy. Hey, what's up?
Good. I need to go back down. Hey, nigga.
Wow. Why'd you just randomly call me the N-word?
No one said the N-word. Hey, nigga.
Whoa.
And just to bring in another person that is kind of versed in these things, Justin. Only one Justo.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? On Instagram. Make sure you tap in, go follow. Definitely, he works on the podcast, and he's one of our very close friends. We're talking about this sort of issue, right? And the guy Something About Chickens had posted that compilation on YouTube, and it got banned. Like, it got taken down. It got removed. What was the exact wording? So they said that it was removed for attacks and slurs on the basis of protected attributes, dangerous and or illegal behaviors by minors. So he's in this video getting called all these racial slurs, and it got removed because illegal behaviors by minors, I'm assuming, is the part that they whatever. Like, it's insane how you'll call your own racism out that was being exacted onto you, and you get your video taken down.
Exactly.
Like, that's insane to me. I'm
guessing from the minors portion, they're talking about the people who are smoking in it, or maybe try to use that as a guise or something.
I feel like
they might be afraid of people kind of like leading a witch hunt of like who are these people?
Right,
They don't want them to get canceled or lose their little.
But bro, people get canceled every day, B.
But when it boils down to it, they're gonna be more. They're gonna value like the safety of young white girl on Omegle vaping and saying the N-word.
Right.
The safety of this
Omegle
black
been
man
around for
who is traumatized now.
Exactly.
Who's ruined. Yeah. And there was something on YouTube. Core by Kenshin posted a video where he was talking about his treatment on YouTube. And it's insane because he's pretty big. Like, he's a pretty well-known black YouTuber, and that's not very many of them.
Yeah.
Let me just be clear. Out of the like a small number, he's one of the main ones. And even he, at the highest level, trends on Twitter often, and not Twitter, on YouTube often. Like, trending on YouTube is insane. You know, like, he does it often. And for him to be at that level and still face this racism and discrimination just only validates again, even if you buy a Benz, you're still a nigga in a coupe. And good God. He, and just to give a little bit of a synopsis of it, because it's a decently long video, apparently he had a video that he had posted that got age restricted with a particular video game on it. And he had, appealed the decision. They doubled down on it. They doubled down on age restriction. And then when he wrote his YouTube rep, he had mentioned that there was another similarly large YouTuber who's white who plays the exact same game, showing the exact same parts, isn't age restricted. What's going on here? He said, okay, they talked. They had like a on-call meeting where like they discussed things. They ended up taking the age restriction off of his video.
Crazy.
Like, insane. They ended up taking it off.
Which is stupid.
Like, they admitted it.
They showed their own hands.
Yeah, they showed their hands.
Yeah.
They admitted. This is admission if I ever seen admission.
Yeah. They use like a white man's behavior as like, okay, he did it, we let it slide. We'll
right.
Like almost like the white man was the rule. And like the
whiteness.
black man was, like it's
exactly.
It's crazy
for sure.
And it speaks to like the overall culture that's kind of being set right now over not only YouTube but also Twitch.
Definitely Twitch too.
Like a lot of rumblings, like within some of the more popular YouTubers. I know Gideon made a video recently that talked about like how he felt like he was being treated differently as a YouTuber. He got, I think, close to 3 million subs on his first channel within like 3 months.
Hey, yo.
Never heard from YouTube. Like usually they'll shout people out like, "Oh, we see you. Like you're rising up. You got like 300K. This man got 3 mil. And
heard nothing.
You get a plaque.
You get like a diamond plaque or something.
And I think he got plaques, but like I don't know that his plaques came like timely.
Right.
Outdated by the time he got them, and then like, YouTube usually does like influencer takeovers. Like they'll let like some of their best gaming YouTubers,
right,
YouTube gaming on Instagram and things like that. They never have let Gideon, who is like clearly someone who's like the NBA used him in advertising. Like he is it right now.
Yeah, he is it
within his demographic, like because he has a target audience.
Right,
but within those folks, he is the guy right now.
He's the guy. For sure.
And YouTube's kind of coming after him. Like they put some community strikes on his second channel. That I think it was in reference to him live streaming on YouTube and reacting to a video that was denouncing online gambling. And it was kind of talking about like the biggest players in kind of this cultural shift towards online gambling.
Yeah.
And I know the video talked about Drake at length. It talked about the company that Drake sponsors, which I won't name. I don't hear this video getting strikes. But yeah, so throughout the live stream, Gideon is actually denouncing online gambling. He still got community strikes like for pretty much advertising and supporting online gambling. So he did the whole thing, the same thing as Corey in terms of reaching out to the rep. This is wrong. I don't know what's going on. It's actually escalated to the point where this, I want to say, is his like 4th or 5th strike.
Damn.
And all of them have been kind of like little like miscommunications similar to this one. But the reason it's so relevant is we're talking about someone who has over 6 million subscribers, like totally amassed between like 2 accounts.
Right.
And once you get to a certain threshold where you have so many strikes, they want to remove your account from YouTube
in perpetuity.
In perpetuity. And if you remove one Pretty much if you get enough strikes to remove one channel, you are no longer allowed to have any YouTube channel. So we're not talking about a person who's also banned by Twitch, which we'll get into that as well.
Yeah.
But we're talking about pretty much removing someone's main streams of income.
Right.
In a world where if you are able to go digital and make that a full-time like job,
that's a bag.
That is a bag. That's a lane.
Yeah.
And we're now talking about the granularity of what makes that inaccessible for black creators versus white content creators.
Right.
Because cycling back to Corey, like if you're a white content creator and you played that same game as Corey, you made the same reaction video, the same playthrough, showed the same scenes, but you're white, you had no issue with this.
You're skating.
Not until Corey blew the whistle.
Now it's like, but even still, I think it'll still end up the same way. Like you know, like I don't think it's necessarily like an algorithm that's being racist. I think a lot of these things are seen by people, like real humans. So it's like either there was some favoritism, like you mentioned, like either some favoritism or something particular. I don't think it's just a machine that's designating you, because I think that this will happen again in the future of a video or game that's suggestive or like showing certain themes, and then certain creators will get flagged, but certain ones won't. That will keep happening, But I'm glad that Corey did that.
The more likely it is that you will. I was gonna say before, the original guy we were talking about, he said he had just got back to YouTube and he was getting popular. He had he was trending, and then they flagged a video from 2019 or 2018. Like, y'all are just not. I didn't even do anything in the video that you just trying to pick wherever you can to try to fuck me over in little spots, just being petty, and that shit's. It's like, you have how many people are on YouTube? How many people watch this platform? This is how you're gonna treat the people who bring a lot of people to the platform to watch it?
It's insane.
Like, what?
Honestly, arguably the pulse of the entire platform. That's how
arguably
people are treated. And things are also like I said, it's not even just specific to YouTube right now. There was also an incident that Gideon has also been kind of whistleblowing at large. There was a Twitch streamer who went by the name of Kamika, who some of you may be familiar with this story. Pretty much she was streaming on Twitch. She was playing a video game. I'm not sure which game. But she was in an apartment and there was a balcony window next to her, and you could see a reflection of some things that were going on that weren't so PG while she was also streaming on Twitch. To be specific, for those who aren't catching the vibe, she was having sex.
YouTube strike.
Right. But yeah, she's having sex while she's streaming on Twitch. This is obviously something that's not okay. Like, this is certainly something that could get you, at least we thought, banned on Twitch. Like, right. Gideon is also perma-banned on Twitch
some random things.
Random one-offs. But Kamika actually was sentenced to only a 7-day suspension. I won't even use the word ban, but
they're using ban, but it's
got
suspension.
a 7-day suspension
for smashing on the Twitch.
On Twitch. So like, I'm not too like firm on why Gideon was banned. I think there was another situation with a popular Twitch streamer by the name of Pokey.
Pokimane?
Yeah, Pokimane. And apparently like, he sent people to her stream to kind of like, you know how people on Twitter used to do the whole L+ ratio? They spammed that on her account.
Right.
He said some things about the people who like are the majority of her subscribers.
Right.
Like, she won't do the thing with you, bro. Like, you're not gonna ever get her. And that got him permanently banned. And now we're talking about someone who was having sex on
Twitch,
and she
a platform that's supposed to be family friendly. Like, they're supposed to be geared towards kids who like video games.
Also, Pokemon used to say the N-word. Pokemon used to say the N-word back in the day.
But yeah, certainly. So these platforms have to find a way to, implement and create structures that drive home the equity and the equality that they preach every February.
Yeah.
Because
they want all these black viewers.
Yeah. You can't drive home in a Benz that you bought on black dollars and not support black content creators.
Honestly, you could probably go through all the sites and get something like that, because TikTok has that thing with the black guy who he outstreamed some white girl that I don't even know who she was, and they just was like, "Oh, guy who got fired from his job outstreams #1 girl." I was like, "Bro,
Guy
what?
who got fired from his job."
Are you kidding me?" Okay.
Insane.
All of these sites, all of them, they need to do better.
Yeah. Insane. Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I like Corey, like, you know, Gideon, and like all these other black content creators who are trying to make sure that they don't get flagged. Because, like, you don't got to be huge to get flagged.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All you need to do is just say a couple things that they don't agree with, flagging you. Yeah. And in a scenario where you have to be stepping on the best stones as a black person, like, you have to be crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's, stay on your P's and Q's, whatever you want to use to designate how on brand you have to stay, like how, you know, how PC you have to stand in a lot of these situations. It's like, you can do all that and still get banned. Like, you can do all that like Corey, who blocks out every curse word in every video that he has. You know, you can do so much and you will still get that racism. Yeah. Like I said, even in the bins, you still thinking it cool. You know what I'm saying? And just to drive that home a little further, like, we seen the article recently, you know, for the couple who, the husband who works at Johns Hopkins, who's a professor at Johns Hopkins, and the wife, who I believe is also a professor or a doctor or something, in Maryland, whose home appraised $472,000, but with a white owner, it's $750,000. And the only reason that happened is because they got an appraisal with them with all their black pictures and stuff up, and house was clean, everything was perfect, but the pictures was up, and then they got their white friend to step in the gap and then meet the same appraiser, and then it was valued at $750,000, $300,000 more. Like, and that's the thing. Like, that's the thing. They did everything right. Like, he's a professor at Johns Hopkins. Like, he's teaching people, you know, like, the wife is like, have a great job. Definitely middle class black people. You know what I'm saying? And this, mind you, $750,000 that their house is worth is definitely middle class, because we're way, way higher up in like the higher classes. Like, white money is insane. It's insane. Like, these house values are insane. You know, $750,000 is definitely like black middle class. And even if they did everything right, which they did, they still got $472,000 as an evaluation of your blackness in this home. That's the penalty, the black code, if you will. You know, literally $472,000 is like what you're worth, but with this white man in your home,
it's like,
it actually is a lot. And the thing is, for this particular article, which we're going to put on screen, like, you can read through it and realize that, like, this black family did everything right, including with the house. They did all the renovations. Like, they changed their, like, ventilation system to, like, the most modern, like, the standard industry standard type stuff, and still got valued at $472,000. $470,000. Like, they spent bread to make this house like what it is, to be, you know, a decent amount of income. No, still got the short end of the stick.
It's crazy. It makes me reflect. Like, people always ask, like, what's the price of a black man's life?
Yeah, I
can't tell you that exact cost, but I can tell you the difference as a homeowner if you
for
were
sure,
white. And it's
for
around
sure
$300,000 extra dollars
like,
in valuation of your home. Like,
yeah, you'd be surprised.
That is, it's awful, to say the least.
Yeah.
And it hits home a little harder with some of these stories being, you know, in Baltimore and in Maryland.
Yeah.
And it's different.
It's insane.
It's so different.
Their names are Nathan Connolly and Shani Mott. Those are their names. They live in Baltimore. And, you know, so the price of black man's life is like $300,000. Like, this black couple, this second story, which this is the thing. Like, these things aren't uncommon. These things happen a lot. You know, this isn't some separate one-off specific, you know, isolated incident. This is like telling you what the system is doing. Like, these are scenarios that are just showing you the real, like, the true reality of America and, like, black life. And this particular couple says that their home was valued and underestimated by $500,000 because of their race. You know, $500,000 less because of their blackness. And that's the thing, because that's, you know what you can do with $500,000?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can tell you.
Like, it's insane. It's insane. It's a cyclical, like, you know, oppression, like, at Olympics, you know, like literally where they're doing whatever they can on any angle, on any medium, to make sure that you're not getting any extra money for the thing that's actually worth this. Because with someone else, That's how much we're paid. It's worth this. It's because your blackness is like a contagion to wealth. Exactly. Like, it's insane. Yeah. It's insane. Shout out to Yvette Carnot, by the way.
And that entire ideology of like it being a contagion to wealth is crazy because people always say like, oh, go to school, get the job.
You can do everything right.
Do everything right.
Working like 70 times harder for the stress and killing
in a neighborhood where like your house has a potential if you're white to be valued at like $700K, but the bank doesn't want you to have that form of mobility.
No
like
way.
They don't want you to be able to sell that asset and amass the wealth that you're actually supposed to get because that would
American dream
open you up to the American dream.
Yeah.
And it's not meant for us. It's truly not meant for us. So like
for sure,
there's so many mediums of ensuring that we never touch the American dream. And like I like that this is at least bringing to light how the bank, and just something as simple as a home valuation could like, deter you from the quote unquote dream.
Yeah.
Redlining.
This is home. Yes. we didn't make it to like businesses, black businesses or nothing like that. Like it's the tip of the iceberg, man.
Tip of the iceberg.
Man. Like I said, man, this is where hip hop and politics collides. So make sure that you subscribe, you like this video, you tap in, you leave a comment, tell us the best parts you like about this video. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
All right. Man, listen. Vibe Perspective Podcast. We back for season 3, man. This is the beginning of something crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like my guy Justin on camera. We've been trying to get him on camera for a while. You know what I'm saying?
See me, but I've been back there.
He's been here. If you let me know what episode he came in first. If you know.
Right.
If you know, put it in the comments.
I didn't get kicked off the show. If that's what
he didn't get kicked.
He just still here.
He's still here.
He ain't pull
still here.
Rick Ross. He ain't just leave. Monte just did like Ross.
Bro,
did.
no, don't do the Rick Ross, bro. I might have to have hands for you. We might have to have hands. Because he just dipped.
Yeah.
But neither here nor there.
I be on his side a little bit because what if I had to go for real?
Say something.
For sure.
Well, what if he got outside and they was like,
no,
bro,
tell your mans to tell them.
Yeah, Ross he was dead wrong for that.
No,
I'm
man,
sorry.
he dead wrong.
Y'all got a bathroom in here? It just never came back, bro.
He went to the bathroom, his man knocked on the door and said, yo, bro, we out.
Yeah.
Man. This is why this we keep jumping over to random times. This is why we don't need to take a break.
Yeah.
Because so many things be happening, man. Listen, this our time. Yeah. Episode 1, season 3. Season 3. Is this camera on me? Is this camera on me? Is this camera on me?
Which one is
Man, season 3. Mike on the mic. We here at the Vibe Perspective Podcast where politics and hip hop collide. Joined by
your favorite girl, Sacoya. You already know.
I'm that guy, Monte.
And
only one Justo. We in the building. Make sure you tap in. Peace. We out here.
Peace.